already know. I'm trying to get closer to something. But like I said, you already know. I don't know if I can reach it. Oh man, this new soil out here. Why would somebody do such a thing right here? Hey, look, we got a friend hanging out. You know, they're about to fly off. Maybe not. My bad. My bad. I gotta be more cautious with just being out here, you know. I got one of those Money Mill EVPs again in one of my videos last night. I'm only about 38 minutes in, basically. Yeah, about 38 minutes in. And it's like a 2 hour and 36 minute video. But trust me, it's not gonna be that long for you guys. Might be an hour shorter than that. I gotta do some major editing, but they got some major EVPs. There was a few that I had to keep listening to most of the night last night, up until about midnight. And one of them made me kind of sad. It really did. One of those EVPs, someone said, "Don't you know you're scaring the life?" Yeah, you heard me right. Someone spoke up when I was out there trying to pull one of my Da Vinci style adventures out there. And someone spoke up on camera when I was trying my best to talk about something, cool, something interesting. It was when I took the dowsing rods out to try to find those nickels. And it was about 20 minutes in to the video. And I knew they had to be talking, and I heard somebody say something. And I knew I had something major within about 17 to 20 minutes of the first part of the video. And someone said, "Don't you know you're scaring the life?" My heart just dropped when I heard that, like for the 300th time trying to find out what they said. Don't you know you're scaring the life? You talk about feeling guilty, feeling bad. I don't even know if you want to see my newest EVPs from my last 3 videos. Well, let's just say 2.5. Not really 3 of them. It's going to scare you to life and not scare you to death. Man, you talk about feeling sad. I had to think about that one EVP all day today when I was at work. Don't you know you're scaring the life? And I had thought about that though, because that was back on like the first week of March, during the first week of March. And I thought about something. You know, there were barely enough leaves on the trees to even make life look visible. The evidence of it. It's almost like the makeup in life itself was in its infancy at that moment, the first week of March. And it made me feel about something differently, that is. It made me feel different about something. How could they say that I was scaring the life? You know? Why would they say such a thing? And all I was doing was just softly talking about using the dowsing rods, trying to get them to work. And someone's directly behind me. Can I ever just be alone and not be followed, you know? Now I know how some of the entities feel out here. I'm trying to get to some spot I haven't been to before out here on the kayak. You know, just little zones that I haven't covered on lake before. Yes, as you probably already noticed, I do not have the shoes on. I want to be connected to the earth. I've been slacking on that lately. I want to be connected to the land. Stand up on it, you know. Seems like something's about to blow in. Really though, look at this. A different perspective. I'm just trying to make it new spots around the lake. And I thought today was a good day to do it. Just on this side of things, you know. You know, cover the bounds of it, the banks. I know I see a couple of things too. You want me to get that stuff. They're gonna fill up the kayak too. Let's hope it's not antifreeze bottles from 1993. There's no getting out. Unless I stand in the sand, you know. You know, there's going to be leeches and all sorts of stuff out here. No money, though. Oh, dang. Things going to be hanging on. Let me go ahead and get some of this stuff out of here. It's piling up hardcore. There's like 3 things right here. Starting to get this thing cleaned out. Kind of. There's a concrete object over here. Let's take a look and see what this thing is. There's a group of senior citizen ladies behind me to my right. On the other side, there's like 7 of them. They're staring at me like they haven't seen a guy on his kayak before. I mean, every last one of them is like, just like staring at me. They got those eyes glued to my direction. What's that guy doing over there? He's not doing the normal human being thing. He's under the tree. Let's go ask him. Yeah, ask me what this thing is, because that's why I'm here. It's a marker. It's a property marker, I think. Like an old school property marker from back in the day. Maybe it's just a boundary marker, you know. Probably not too old. Cool fun for the day. Yes, indeed. I'll find a few of these across the park, you know, around the park. This one's not too high. It's not too big at all. It doesn't have one of those markings on it that says that there's a trail out here. Look, I'm turning the camera. They're going to be heading in my direction. They're going to be staring at us too. Yeah, they're still looking at me. How am I going to play this off? I don't need anybody asking me questions. I'm just trying to chill. I mean, it's weird though. It is. The way I've been feeling for like the past 3 or 4 years, you know. I don't know what's going on in my life. Don't ask. I mean, especially for like the past 3 or 4 years, I've been feeling extremely detached from the human race. Like I'm trying to hide from them, you know. But more than just hide. It's almost like I'm trying to avoid them. But that doesn't go for like, that doesn't just go for like random people like these. I mean, it goes for my friends and family too. It's like I feel like I'm not allowed to talk to anybody. Every time I think about trying to text or call a friend or a family member that I haven't talked to in like 3 years, I'm going to break it down for you though. The last time I talked to a family member or a friend of mine has been more than a couple of years. And we're not going to talk about coworkers. You know, the people you see every single day at the office. I'm talking about people that I have known for a long time. The people who have helped shape my life. You know, a different kind of guidance that is. I don't know what happened though. Every month that goes by, the more worried I get. Because I don't want to die lonely. I don't. But I'm getting so old right now, it's almost impossible to make new friends. It's not like I'm 17 or anything like that. I tried to do a calculation the other night. How many friends can I make at my age? How long can I keep friends up until the day I die? You know, things like that. If I live to be 90, that gives me 45 years. And I try to do a calculation too, like a backwards calculation, trying to think about how long does it take to make friends. I almost Googled that thing too. Seriously. Now that's pretty sad when you try to Google how long does it take to make friends. Oh man. It's like there's something that's holding me back, like I'm meant to do something else. Something major, I don't know. I think that's what it is deep down inside. Like there's something that I'm meant to do, you know. But I haven't put my finger on it yet. What it's supposed to be. But the ones out here, though, guide me into the right direction. I know that for a fact. Like these waters of eternity right here. Something about this place, though. Why is it connected to me? First of all, is it important for me to unplug the headsets so I can get that crisp EVP? All the other ones I'm trying to get to help me figure things out. Someone's about to tell us something right here. I wonder if this is what they meant when they said I was scaring the life. I bet they were talking about the life of everything, though. The new life that was coming out. Heck, you know what? They could have been talking about the wildlife also. But there's a lot of things that they say out here, everywhere we go. Such things like, welcome to your grave. Your grave is 28 feet. How can one's grave be 28 feet? that we definitely have to figure out. There's so many different ideas in that one answer, that one EVP. Your grave is 28 feet. Does that mean my body from a long time ago is 28 feet long? How can a body be 28 feet long? Maybe they meant 28 feet deep. I never heard the final word. All I heard was, your grave is 28 feet. I even took the tape measure out to try to measure out 28 feet from a particular location, a particular rock, where I got the EVP when I was standing up there a long time ago. Well, not a long time ago, let's just say a few months ago. Your grave is 28 feet. This is your grave. But if it was my grave, then it would have to have been a grave from a long time ago, when I had a previous body, right? Because there's no way I can be out there 28 feet deep. They're helping me figure things out from the past. What if they really meant that it's really a tomb? That is like a room. Hey, that rhymed. What if they meant that it's like a room? The grave is like a tomb, but it's really a room. That is 28 feet long. How much you can, man, think about that. How much can you fit in a room that size? If my grave is inside of a tomb and it's 28 feet long, or even 28 feet wide, how much can you put inside of a room that big? Gee, man. Cool. Got some new boulders I've never seen before. Got a little beech tree here about maybe 85 years old. All this used to be underground, under the dirt, until they backed the lake up. A new perspective. You're going to tell me to go under the covered bridge? I think I will. I'm just going to do a circle. I tried to do that one time, but it got too late. As you can tell, the sun is not really out. There she is right there. She's being covered up by the heavy-duty overhang. You know, the haziness out here. I think that's caused by the, what do you call that? The smoke from the Canada wildfires. I think that's what all this is. And it's not really clouds. I could be wrong, though. I mean, the haze was just so thick. I mean, from the office, you could barely see a certain distance. Looks like we got some new trails to explore. Maybe I have been out here on this trail before. I mean, it's a different perspective when you're on the kayak. You don't recognize things. A lot of things that can't be moved. A lot of things that have been out here for tens of thousands of years. Absolutely incredible, in my opinion. Even a long time ago, the natives never had a chance to discover anything like this because it was covered up underground. And it just took a backup of a few streams, some creeks cutting through the landscape to expose it. You know, to wash things down, the soils and sands. And us modern humans get the luxury to see it. Have the luxury. There's a lot of things that we can see now that they can have never seen when it comes to places like this. But there's also, on the flip side of things, there's a lot of things that they saw, they witnessed, they experienced, they were lucky enough to see that we will never see. There's always got to be that one connection, that one thing that holds a lot of truth, a lot of mystery. Look at us just chilling. No care in the world. We'll take that back. There's a lot of cares in the world that I have, that we all have, really. I'm just trying to enjoy this after work chill session. Trying to cover the lines out here. Got to make it to the dam. And then come back. It's already like 7:35. We got about an hour and 10 minutes. Basically before sunset, but you know, it's not going to be too bright out here. It might get dark quicker. They're pretty busy for a random Thursday, though. I'm just out here trying to enjoy a late June day, trying to get the feel in before the time goes by too quickly, you know. I can't believe we're already headed into 4th of July. Really. I can't even, man, I can't even imagine. Where did all the time go? We just barely got into like the first week of summer. And you already know what comes after summer. We'll be headed right into fall. Which means I gotta enjoy what I can hardcore. I don't even know what to do this coming weekend. I have no clue. I got like 10 things I want to do. But you only get one weekend, right? How you going to do 10 things in one weekend? Depends on what they are. But my hobbies have a tendency to take a lot of time. I definitely got to get on a kayak once. It's going to be up in the mid-90s. Both Saturday and Sunday. I want to go attempt to look for some major history in a couple of spots that I haven't been in. in several months because it hasn't been raining hardcore. Nothing has been exposed. Let's hope we don't run out there and find things sitting around that we saw back in late March. Yeah, they're really kicking around here. There's something going on. I guess I can say that I'm lucky I'm not on the main drag over here. The main part of the lake. Well, because when I look back there, they had like 2 sets of those long boats. What do you call those? I don't know, guys. They do them in the Olympics, and they use them in Ivy League schools and stuff. You know, they got the long boats. You always used to see them on the Chattahoochee down there by Morgan Falls. Like Westminster and all the other schools go out there. And it's the team rowboats. I don't know what that's called. I totally forgot. Who knows? That's probably what it is. But they had 2 of the long boats, the guy standing on the end with the megaphone. And then the 4, 5, 6 guys rowing backwards on those little tiny skinny boats, whatever they are. They had 2 of those things back there. So I guess what I'm doing here is meant to be. For both sides, that is. There goes the water right there, coming out from the upper lake right here. You know what? I think this is probably the original dam, the first one that was built around the lake. Because if you look back at the images, the historical aerials and stuff like that, you'll see that the lake on this side of this little dam right here, that was the first lake that I know of that shows up on the historical aerials from back in like 1955. I don't know if it shows up on the one from 1938. I think it's the one on 1955. So this thing goes way back, which means it probably also predates 1955. And all this, what we're sitting on right here, was nothing but land. But the creek flowed through here, though. So basically, we're sitting on top of a creek just below us. Wonder how deep it is, though. No telling. Let's pray that it's not 28 feet, if you know what I mean. Finally met out here on the kayak. Didn't have to be on foot. If you recognize this, you know exactly what part of the park we're located in at the moment. There's another person behind me. And they are directly behind us too. I'd say within at least 35 feet, they're coming to the same location. Check this out. Alright, now this rock right here, this boulder, This thing right here was definitely above ground before they flooded the lake. You can't see what's on the side of the boulder unless you're in the kayak, right? But thousands of years ago, I wonder how high the land got, or how high it was. I'm looking for carvings, because this would definitely have been a perfect spot to put some petroglyphs on this thing, to tell your human history, you know? Leave it on something to hold on to it. A flat face. Above ground, not covered up. I don't think I see anything though. And I think thousands of years, not just thousands, but tens of thousands of years of water just flowing over it could have erased those sketches easily. So it doesn't look like there's anything there, unfortunately. What a bummer. They should have made them deeper. All right, all right. Who's ready to go under the covered bridge for the first time on the kayak? I think I'm well overdue for this thing. Still got plenty of time. It's about 8:15, even though it seems like it's darker because of the overcast environment, atmosphere. Let's go and do this thing. Looks like it's a long way from here, though. Let's hope it doesn't take that long to get there. I mean, it's practically right there. I couldn't imagine the stuff that's hidden under this thing. Look, I can reach the top. Man, look at this history right here. About dang time we made it, though. You can see a different perspective on the construction of it. I'm trying to stay as close as I can to the column behind me because there's a lot of people on the bank and they're staring at us. Heck yeah, they're staring at us. They're probably saying to themselves, or talking to us right now, hey man, what you doing out here? This is our turf. I'm just checking the place out. That's it. If you don't mind, guys. Excuse me, husband and wife. They got this thing sitting on steel beams, steel supports. I wonder how deep it is. Probably not that deep. Let's check. Hold on. Oh yeah, look at that. We're touching bottom. So you're probably talking about 4.5 feet deep. That's not bad at all. I thought it was going to be like 15. Who knows? It could be a lot deeper over here. It could be a lot deeper on the other side. I'm just trying to scope things out. I had to jet on out. That spot was not private at all. I mean, there had to be at least 7 different places where there had to be a family of like 15 people. It got to the point where the kids were just running down the side of the bank after me like I was the ice cream truck without the music. They act like they haven't seen somebody on the kayak out here before. That was weird. You know, kids can be weird though, like that. I mean, they were all like screaming and yelling and stuff like that as they were trying to chase my every move. Man, does it feel good out here. It's got to be at least 85 still. Tipping on about 8:35. A lot of people still out. You know, it is summer break for a lot of people. Let's hope they clean up their garbage though. Or else I'm going to have to come back and get it. That's a weird little hill up there in front of us. I mean, look at that. I know that's part of the campground. But from this perspective, what does it look like? I mean, look at it. On how you see things through the trees. Look at that. It looks like a graveyard. Up on a hill. It's exactly what it looks like. It looks like a graveyard up on a hill. You just don't know that until you get up there. That is not. Weird. At 9 o'clock, I think something's blowing in. It started raining pretty hard about 10 minutes ago. Things are getting a little wet. Had to hide the iPhone. It feels good though. The temps have dropped a good 10 degrees. I think we might get some good rain tonight. I gotta check the forecast, but time is never perfect. I'm almost back to the boat ramp.